because you will get a copy of this recording and the slides. So it was important that I turn that on. I did now, and we are ready to go. So I'd like to welcome you all to our presentation, AI for Lean Startups, Maximizing Your Return on Investment and Minimizing Your Costs. These are the sort of problems that new businesses, small businesses have. So let's get started. Jam Anderson is with us. I don't see her or hear her yet, but I am sure she is lurking in the background. Oh, good. Thank you, Jam. All right, we have a little housekeeping to do first. First, I need to tell you what is SCORE. Some of you may not be familiar with SCORE. SCORE is bringing you this presentation. SCORE is a nationwide nonprofit organization. We're all over the country. There are over 300 chapters nationwide and over 10,000 volunteers. Our chapter, which is the Minnesota chapter, which is a combination of Manatee and Sarasota counties in Florida, we have nearly 90 members who are waiting to help you with your small business questions. So please, if you have a small business, if you have a business, it doesn't matter if it's small. I bet you have some questions, some problems that you would like help with. Apply for a SCORE mentor. Our chapter was recently recognized as a district chapter of the year. So when could you use the help of a SCORE mentor? Well, literally through the entire life cycle of your business. From pre-startup, you're thinking about signing a contract for a building maybe. Well, why don't you talk to us? There may be some things that you need to consider before you do that. Or you're in the startup phase and then you realize that you don't have the accounting help or you don't have the marketing help you need. Or you're in business and you'd like to grow and are not totally sure whether or not you have the skills to do that. Or lastly, you're thinking about selling or closing a business, or even you're thinking about buying a business. It's the same concept, but on the reverse. We have a team dedicated to that. Where do you go for a mentor? Well, it's pretty easy. It's score.org/Minnesota. You'll be asked a couple of questions, including what kind of help do you need? And then you will be assigned a mentor based upon the kind of help you identify and your location. So please take a moment to do that after our webinar, not now, because we have very important information to talk about. And lastly, I want to thank our sponsors and community partners. Without these folks, we wouldn't be able to bring these presentations to you. You'll also notice that many of our sponsors are financial institutions. I'm here to tell you that, and the banks have told us this as well, if you walk in saying that you have a SCORE mentor, they know that you're going to be better prepared, that you have a business plan, that you have some concepts already done, and they will listen to you a lot better. So if you're thinking about needing that, consider getting a SCORE mentor. So that's all I want to say on that. I want to turn this over to Jam. Before I do, I want to reiterate that yes, you will be getting a copy of the slides and the video of the presentation. Jam was concerned about her cat getting in the way. I don't know if you saw, my cat just walked across the screen. So yep, that's going to be that kind of a day. So I am going to stop sharing. Welcome, Jam. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Great introduction. Let me just grab my screen here. All right. All right. Are we ready to jam out in AI?
We are.
Okay. All right. Well, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Jam Anderson, and I am the owner of Jam AI. My whole life I've been in sales and marketing, and I even owned my own web development company for a while. So when AI came out, I just jumped right in and started creating tools for my business development group at a marketing agency. Sooner than later, people were asking me to coffee, wondering how they could get started as well. So that's why we created Jam AI. I have a team of 4 people. We create AI tools for work, and then we also create AI training for teams and individuals. I wanted to just tell you a little bit more about my journey to AI. So OpenAI came out actually in 2019 with ChatGPT and had their first automated content creation. And I was just blown away. So I had been following it for a few years. And then last year, when we were able to access ChatGPT 3, I thought I would play a little game with ChatGPT. And I asked it to come up with some products that I could sell on an Etsy shop. That bottom picture is actually a quote from a Vanderpump Rules Bravo show. And it was during a breakup. This girl was very mad. And ChatGPT told me to create this coffee cup, and it also told me to create this card on the top that you could see that was sold for Mother's Day. And I followed the instructions of ChatGPT specifically, and I sold over 400 cups. I sold 200 cards within a couple weeks. And after that, I was just like, oh my gosh, if ChatGPT can help with this fake little test business that I wanted to do, imagine what it could do in my real personal and work life. So I automated my entire sales process from prospecting to closing a deal. I automated our entire marketing process for our marketing agency. And then I also automated a lot of my personal life. I ended up creating tools for creating scavenger hunts for my kids. I cut ties with my nutritionist, and I created workout and nutrition plans with AI tools as well. So that's what I'm here to do today, is show you how you can use applicable AI in your business or startup. So just a quick look at today's plan. We're going to jump into what is AI exactly. I'm going to go over a few tools that are just a game changer that you have to know about. I'm also going to give you tips to use ChatGPT better than most people you know. We're going to show you a few really cool tricks and tips for sales and marketing, and hopefully we have time to get to this AI library as well. So what is AI? I'm going to get into the technical part, but I just want to address that. You know, I've been doing this for about a year now, and I know there's a lot of hesitation when it comes to AI. People are worried about their security. They're worried about where their information is going. And they're worried about AI taking over their jobs. But I always tell people, AI won't take over your job, but it's the people that learn how to use it that might. So it's really important to get in and try to understand as much as you can. And then for those of you who are hesitant about using it, don't be. You've actually been engaging with AI for a really long time. Your banking institution, when it asks you those personal questions about what your mother's maiden name was or what car you drive, that's based off of AI. If you have social media or you play around with those silly filters to change how you look on TikTok or Instagram, that's AI as well. Siri and Alexa, but my watch doesn't talk right now. They are also AI tools. So it's not something that you're not using. It's just something that is being used more. I'm going to get a little technical here, so hang with me. But AI is the broad idea that machines can be made to carry out tasks that would typically require human intelligence. There's 3 types of AI that I want to cover. So the first type is machine learning. And this is a method when we give computers the ability to learn instead of just training it to do one thing. For example, if we give a computer pictures of thousands of cats and then tell it these are cats, eventually it'll be able to pick out other cats on the internet. So that's machine learning. It's training itself. The next is deep learning, and this is a type of machine learning that processes data throughout layers of interconnected nodes, kind of like a web. Each layer will break down data further, making it deep. A good example of this is when you speak to voice assistants. They're recognizing your voice, and the input is your voice, but the output is then text. So it's something where it's taking a complex input and then making it understandable. The last one is neural networks, and this is where all the new hype is laying. These are structures used in deep learning. Think of them as a web or a network of nodes. Each node processes a bit of information together. So the best example I found of this is, imagine you're trying to identify a bunch of ingredients in a mystery dish. Instead of tasting the whole dish at once and saying, here's what's in it, you're going to have an expert taster focus on each ingredient. One might taste basil, and the other might identify chicken, and another identifies garlic. By the end, you combine all of their insights, and you'll have a comprehensive understanding of the dish. So LLMs and ChatGPT operate on a specific type of neural network called transformer architecture. And this is the architecture that excels at handling sequences and makes it good at human conversation. All right, thanks for bearing with me. That's as technical as we'll get today. So now we're going to jump into AI tools that you should know. First are LLMs. These are like ChatGPT and Bard. We'll go over these in depth. And then all of these other ones are owned and operated by other companies, and I have nothing to do with them. I just really like them, and I hope you do too. So LLM stands for Language Learning Module, and I'm going to show you some of our favorite LLMs. Obviously, the first one and most popular is ChatGPT. I know a lot of you have been playing with ChatGPT. It's been out for quite a while now. I don't know if you know this, but ChatGPT actually gained 1 million users within its first week of launch. And it currently has 1.6 billion monthly visitors. So the adoption of this is just insane. The reason I love ChatGPT is because it's open source. And open source software means that the code is widely available to developers around the world. So these developers have been working with ChatGPT for over a year, making it better in a lot of ways. So one of those ways it's made it better is plugins. For those of you who don't use plugins, you're probably stuck saying ChatGPT is great, but it's only giving me web information up to 2021. So you definitely have to turn on these plugins to have it work, most up to date. And yes, it does have a fee for ChatGPT Plus. It's $20 a month, and I think it's well worth it. I am going to dive into those tips and other ways to use ChatGPT. But first, let me show you the other LLMs that I love. So Bard is the LLM that Google has created. And people really like Bard because it's a little bit more secure than ChatGPT. So Bard is developed and only worked on by Google employees, whereas the other one's open source, like I just mentioned. The other great thing about Bard is that it integrates with the Google Suite, so you can use it in presentations, any sort of Google Doc that you might use. The next one is Meet Claude, and this one's not as popular, but I really love it. Claude is great for any sort of long form content that you're trying to create. So ChatGPT and Bard, they will have limits on what your content is at. Whereas Claude, you could write an entire book with Claude. It's a really humanistic feel as well. Without much training, it'll really understand and communicate in the right tone that you need. The next one is Pi. I really, really encourage you all to check it out. I think the URL is called Hey Pi. This is an emotional intelligence AI. So it's an EQ AI, and it's just amazing. You can also download their app and have phone calls with a voice on Pi. So I have a very old Boston Terrier, and I just thought I'd talk to Pi about him and say, oh, we're a little sad, can't walk anymore. Like just having a conversation about Kevin, my dog. And I was just shocked at how it responded. It really asked a lot of questions about how you might feel, help solve problems. It's really a neat tool. All right, so let's jump into 5 tips to use ChatGPT better than the masses. The first one I'm going to mention here that I don't have a slide for is start at 80%. And what this means is with AI tools, we're no longer starting at 0. So, a few years ago, if somebody said, I need you to create an email sequence or sales funnel, you used to have to sit down and brainstorm and come up with V1 and V2 and V3 and send it all around to your team and get feedback. And we're currently with AI able to kind of start where we were almost finished before. So our starting point is at 80%. But I really, really want to encourage you all to not ever make AI content 100%. Go in and read it and really make sure that it's what you want. I've seen so many people post blogs or LinkedIn posts or content on their website, and they even will leave in like their AI prompt. You can tell they didn't even read it and just put it on their website. So don't be sloppy. Use AI for a tool, but don't rely on it. All right, I have a slide for each one here. So I'm going to jump in. Custom instructions and plugins. So these are 2 things that are available in the Plus version, and they're super important. Custom instructions allows you to go ahead and tell ChatGPT who you are, what you do, and how you want it to respond. And then plugins are basically like an app store for Apple products. So there's over 6,000 plugins that have been developed by developers around the world. And these are some of my favorite ones. Photorealistic will give you image prompts for Midjourney, which I'll show you that in a few slides. Browse the web, obviously super important. You can put in a URL now and have a whole conversation about that website. You can put in your own website URL and ask for feedback on your content, on your SEO structure. It's really, really interesting to use that. CapCut just came out a few months ago, and it doesn't work that well, but I think it's really amazing. You can type in just a topic and it'll create a whole video for you. So I saw an example of somebody say like, create a video of cats versus dogs, what's better? And it created a whole TikTok video just within minutes, and it had a voiceover, it had imagery, it had music, just pretty interesting that it can do it. PDF reader, the use cases around PDF reader is amazing. You can upload your resume, get feedback on your resume, rewrite your resume. Can use it for personal reasons. If I recently had a family member who was diagnosed with a certain type of cancer, and we couldn't understand the information from the doctor, so I uploaded it, took out his name and everything, but uploaded just the notes and diagnosis and stuff, and we were able to really ask questions and understand what it was. So yeah, just it's great for your work life, but there's so many other great ways to use AI in your personal life too. Zapier is kind of hard to explain. It's basically an extension cord for multiple tools out there. So if you want your Gmail to work with ChatGPT, you use Zapier to connect those things. And with the plugin, it'll tell you exactly how to do it, how to set it up. It'll even create the blueprint for you. So those are really cool. Prompts. Prompts are how you actually communicate with AI and language learning models. Back a while ago when it first came out, you couldn't really interact with an LLM without a long prompt. But as they're being trained and getting better and better, you don't necessarily need prompts this long, but you do need to think through what you're asking these LLMs to do. One of my favorite things to do is say act as. So that's what these two examples are, but you can continue on and say act as a therapist, act as a chef, act as a sales director, and you'll get some really great information. The other thing I really like to do is say use the tone of, and then enter a celebrity or even an author who's famous in your field. And it's really interesting to see how that comes out as well. I like to write very serious, boring information, but then have it in the tone of like Chelsea Handler or something, and all of a sudden it makes it fun. I have a video of this in a minute, so I'm gonna continue on for time's sake. The last part is data. A lot of people don't know that ChatGPT can be your spreadsheet assistant. And if you're anything like me, it will save your day. All you do is just put in any sort of spreadsheet, and you can ask it to read through it, give you information. You can even ask it to reorganize your data, clean it up, and send it back to you. I'm going to show you just how to do these really quick. So this is in my ChatGPT. This is where the custom instructions are. Sorry, that was cut off in the beginning, but it's right under settings by your name. And then it just says custom instructions. And then you go back to those three dots and you'll hit settings and beta. And this is where you can turn off and on tools. And in the beta features, that's where you have to turn on plugins. And then you can see other options in here. I'm going to show you just how we can write a prompt and the difference between, writing a good prompt and writing a bad prompt. So right now I'm asking it to act as a marketing director and give me 10 social media posts for Jam Out AI. This is actually a bad prompt. I wouldn't recommend doing it, but I wanted to show what a bad prompt looks like. So I didn't ask it to look at my website. I didn't tell it who I was, and it thinks I'm some sort of music person, which makes sense. But now I'm gonna say, use your plugin to look at jamout.ai. And then I'm gonna ask it to actually give me social media posts. And I'm also gonna tell it how to give me those social media posts. And the thing is I've been doing marketing and sales forever, and the available information and the speed of this still just really wows me. We used to have to go back and forth for weeks with our marketing agency to get exactly what it's showing you here. So I asked for the platform, the post content, hashtags that are relatable. Excuse me. So, and I always like to, like I said, read through the content and make sure that it makes sense. All right, so you're going to go to advanced data analysis to use the spreadsheet version. And you can upload any sort of CSV file. So if any of you have seen any of my webinars before, you'll know that I use seamless.ai to get a lot of my contacts. And so that's what this is from. And I'm just going to ask it to create a graph of positions that these contacts hold. It'll always start by examining the spreadsheet. If you hit show work, it'll just tell you what it's doing every second. But I'm not a spreadsheet person, so I don't care that much to see it. All right, so it gives me a couple options. It says there's no specific column for job positions. So I'm just going to say, number one, proceed with available columns, focusing on a company name. So again, it just takes a second, but the information that it's going through, like something like this would have taken at least a week for me to do manually. So it's giving me all of a graph of everybody who works at a specific company in my list. So tons of use cases around that. It's just a really great tool, and I hope you all give it a try. All right, Grammarly. I don't know if any of you are like me, but I have 5 different email accounts, and it can sometimes get a little bit overwhelming. And I'm kind of a get to the point type of person. I'm not long-winded. Might not seem that way since I'm doing a webinar, but it's true. And sometimes my emails can be a little bit short. And so I use Grammarly, and I have it integrated into my email and my Chrome tab. And when I log into my email, I already have a response drafted to all the emails. So I can choose to use that draft, or I can choose to kind of change it up. Here's a quick example of what that looks like. Well, that's funny. I had my sound on. I was on my treadmill. I was doing this yesterday. So yeah, it reads the email that's written here, and it'll send a response, and it saves my day. Highly suggest using that. They have a free version, which is what I use, and then they have another version where you can use that tool on everything. So your Facebook posts, anything that you're using on your browser, it can connect to. The next tool I'm going to tell you about is ChatGPT for Sheets. I know I just said that Bard is Google's product, and I'm showing you a Google Sheet here in a second, but even Google knows that ChatGPT is great and sometimes better. So they also created tools to allow ChatGPT into Google Sheets. I use this for both sales and marketing. In this example, I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT for Sheets for social media posts. So it's just an extension that you have to enable. So you turn on ChatGPT for Sheets, and then this, I know it looks complicated, but it's really just instructions telling ChatGPT what I want it to do. So I'm asking it to write unique and creative social media posts. I'm asking the style to be in the tone of George Clooney, but don't mention his name. I'm asking it to be professional, and the topic's going to be financial planning tips for small business owners from Andy, who owns Denver Financial. So I usually do one first and just make sure that I like how it looks. And once I decide I like it, all you have to do is put $ in your columns up there. And what that tells the ChatGPT is that you want to continue these instructions, but you want them unique in each row. So that's what the $ are telling it. So right now I'm doing probably, 11 posts here, but you could do 1,000, you could do 2, it doesn't matter. And I am going to show you in a couple slides how you can post those. And then here's again, but this time I'm asking it to write an email, professional and engaging, in the tone of Mila Kunis, but do not mention her name. And the topic is a supplement. And the cool part with this is, it also said relate the company name with the topic. And so each one of these is actually a very unique email to that person and their company. So it's not just one of your mass emails that has a different name, but it's the same message. It's actually a unique message for that company relating to the topic with that person's name in it as well. So that's, and also there's another extension that I use called YAM. It's yet another mail merge is the name of it. And you can actually send your emails directly from this spreadsheet. Depending on how many you want to send, it's either free, or I think their lowest plan is $8 a month. But you can send thousands of emails directly from here, and it has tracking to show open rate, click rate, all of that good stuff. All right, the next tool is called Opus Clip. And Opus Clip has been all over the news in AI. People are really, really liking it. One of the things that you have to do as a business is be involved on social media and have a YouTube account. And for my clients, it's one of the biggest pieces of feedback that they just don't have time for it. They don't understand it. They're shy to be on video, which all of that makes total sense. So what Opus Clip does is it allows you to actually grab other YouTube clips. So what I do is I'll go in and I typed in ChatGPT, and then I'll look for videos that have a lot of views. So I'm just going to grab this one for an example. You take the URL, copy it, and then you'll just go to Opus Clip and you're going to drop it in. And what this does is it asks you what type of video you want, what sort of keywords you want. I just said do auto. And then what it does is it'll take the video and actually put your branding on it, and it will give you captions and a score. So if you see the score over there, it'll tell you how successful it might be. So just with that share button, you can share to LinkedIn, you can share to Facebook, you can share to TikTok, YouTube Shorts, whatever it is you need. This is a really great way to get more views to your YouTube, get more subscribers. Obviously, it's not your information, so I always say, give credit in your post. And then please make your own as well. Do both. It's great to have content out there from other people to help show that you're an expert in your field. All right, the next one is called DID, and this is a AI video creator. I've been using DID for a long time. There's a lot of other ones out there like Synthesa and Canva, and I really like DID because it integrates with a company called 11 Labs, who has one of the most advanced voice technologies. So if you are looking to do a podcast, or if you want to do more VO type stuff for your videos, I would say look at 11 Labs. But if you're looking to make people like this talk,
hello there. Jam just made me in the DID software. You can use avatar videos for a variety of reasons. Training, product announcements, social media. I'm free talent at your service, ready to talk about anything you want me to. As far as my look, well, Jam made me in ChatGPT and Midjourney. DID comes with lots of avatars, but we like being original.
So this is kind of the interface of DID. As you can see, you just put your script in here. You can choose what language. They have over 57 languages available, which is also really cool if you think about it. If you have any sort of prospects or clients and you don't speak their language, what if you made them a video of yourself speaking in their language? It's really cool how we can kind of cross these barriers with AI. They have over, I think, 40 voices now. Some of them are very bad, but you can find a few good ones. And then you can upload yourself. I've put my AI avatars in here for a conference I was at. And then this lady I made in Midjourney, which is what I'm going to talk about next. Midjourney is one of my favorite AI tools. It was actually one of the first tools I played with when I started getting into AI, and I did create a Midjourney guide. So that was one of the first products I ever came out with. Midjourney is an AI image creation tool. It lives in a place called Discord. So in order to use Midjourney, you have to sign up for Discord as well. A lot of my clients find that confusing, and I get it, but just know it's kind of like going to a website and then Midjourney is inside of that. There are ways to create your own Midjourney server, and if any of you are interested in that, let me know. I'm not going to get into it right here because it's a little bit technical, but you can have your own private Midjourney server where you can make a lot of cool content. This is the Explore tab on Midjourney, and you can grab whatever you want if you like anything and copy the prompt. So that's one way to go and start making AI imagery, is copying the prompt. So I just copied that, but instead of Amelia Clark, I'm going to put in Taylor Swift because she recently just became a billionaire and we have to celebrate that. So I'm going to see how this goes here, creating a Taylor Swift 32K watercolor style image. What's happening here is the image is actually bouncing between two transformers. One transformer is creating the image and the other transformer is approving the image. So you can see it says, 62% fast. It's basically ping-ponging this image back and forth and saying, is this right? And it's saying no. No, try again. Yes. So it's finally done. You can see it gave me 4 different options. It's basically labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to choose number 2 and ask for more variations of number 2. And while that's cooking, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and show you how to use one of the plugins called Photorealistic that I mentioned earlier to create some really, really amazing imagery. So with plugins, you can only have 3 on at a time. So I had to turn 1 off. And I'm saying, give me a Midjourney prompt for a realistic photo of a Boston Terrier drinking coffee. Because who doesn't want to see that? That's a great image. I could have asked it to do it in a certain artistic style. I could have given it a lot more parameters, but you can see it chose one for me in the style of Annie Leibovitz portrait work. And then the cool thing is it gives you kind of like the photography style as well. So all you do is you go in and you do a /imagine and you paste the prompt. And then while that one starts, I'm going to check this out. Looks awesome. I approve. All right, and then we'll grab our other prompt and throw it in. You can do so much with these images. You can put them all over your website. My entire website's made with Midjourney imagery. You can create products on Etsy. Oh, I grabbed this yesterday because it was Halloween and I was in a scary mood. So I wanted to see what it would do. And I also wanted to tell you that Midjourney will never create the same image twice. So I'm going to post this in exactly how they had it. And it'll come up. And here's our Boston Terriers drinking coffee. I approve. Oh, and that one's not quite done. If you click on something before it's at 100%, it'll be small like that, but now it's done. I love it. So cute. So that's Midjourney. I definitely think you guys should try it out. I've had a few people say it's a little bit hard to start, but once you understand how it works, it's very addictive and you can spend a lot of time in there. All right, so no matter what your business is, there's people looking for information about what you do. They're looking for it all the time on social media, on your website, on YouTube. So how can you come up with content? Obviously, AI is a great way to come up with content, but I'm going to show you something called umbrella topics with AI. Umbrella topics is something that a lot of successful marketing agencies do for their clients, and it's a great way to get started to create your content. All right, so the first thing is you go to Google, and I want you to type in something that is related to your business or your services. And then you're going to find the area called People Also Ask. As you continue to click on the things that relate to your company, you'll see more questions are added. So these are real questions that people are asking about your business or your topic. So these are great questions for you to answer as a business. So I like to get about 20 of these, and this is how I'll do my entire social media for the month. And for our clients as well, this is an amazing way to create social media topics that people are actually looking for answers for. So now I'm going to go into Claude. This is the LLM tool that I mentioned earlier, the one that's really great for creating more long form content. And I'm going to say, create social media posts answering these questions for jamout.ai. So then I just paste them all in, and it literally goes in and answers every question. If this wasn't an example, I would go in and change the content a little bit more, but I just wanted to show an example. So I did pre-prompt Claude about AI a little bit, Jamout AI. So it does know a little bit about our prospects and our tools. So the next thing you're going to do is open up a Excel spreadsheet and just name it anything you want. Does anyone else have like 1,000 tabs open every day, or is that just me? All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and paste those in. And then all you do, again, you should be reading these and making sure that they're perfect for you. But what I'm going to do is download them. We're going to go over to Canva, and we're going to look for an Instagram story template. If any of you have not used Canva before, get over there today and sign up. It's my most amazing tool. Canva has basically templates for anything and everything, from books to social media posts to signage. I always like to search around and see what sort of templates are out there. Anything you see, you can change with your brand standards and make it look perfect for your brand. So I'm looking for something that has a quote, and just for time's sake, we'll grab the first one we see. So there's a little brand icon, and it'll change it to my brand colors. I like to see all the options before I choose one. And then you can type in your website. And then, whoops, you go ahead and just download that CSV file. And you're going to hit over on the, right here, it says bulk create. And then you're going to upload CSV. And all we're going to do is find the text that you want to connect to our text and hit connect data. This is where you just make it look good, because you're about to create a lot of social media posts. Now know that some of these you might still have to fix, but hit generate 18. Excuse me. And now I have 18 posts with those quotes on them that I can just go ahead and schedule out to post throughout the month. I always like to change the look of each one. I have some clients where they like to keep it the same, but I like to just throw some of my mid-journey art in the background and give it that look and feel that my clients and prospects are used to seeing. All right, I'm gonna keep going because of time. I know we have questions too. I'm gonna touch on an AI library. So AI libraries are basically a repository of AI tools for your business. It's also where you keep all of your pre-programmed chatbots. I'm going to show you one that we created for a company called Homewell. It is a password protected internal site, so it's not something that you want your customers or prospects to access. And it's basically sales, marketing, and HR tools. Well, that's what we did for them. This one on the homepage is basically a pre-prompted chatbot that has about 500 different PDF documents about this company that it's trained on. So they can go in and ask it things like, what is our tagline? What are our hex colors that we use in our logo? Just really, marketing specific, anything that's in that documentation that your company might have, you can have conversations about. In the management portal, we have it trained to give them password information for different social media accounts and things. This was also trained on an event calendar in Greenville, North Carolina. So it tells you what sort of festivals are going on, where they can market, things like that. I'm going to jump into this next one to show the sales side. You can go in, and this can be a tool that you use when you're in a meeting with a lead or prospect. It can be something that you can prepare for a meeting with. But it's all, again, pre-programmed and pre-configured for your specific company. We also will create custom chatbots, custom ChatGPT-4 tools. So this one is an email template that's direct to seniors. So for this company, they have a lot of different prospects. It can be people who want to age at home, like seniors, or it could be hospitals or surgery centers. And so it'll create different emails for all different types. Again, the thing that this does is if you have new hires, you can get them up to speed and have them working very quickly. So as I mentioned, these are built off of chatbots. My favorite place to make chatbots is called Zapier, Zapier Interfaces to be exact. It can integrate with your ChatGPT-4 account. You just have to enter your API key. And you can create chatbots, you can create the interfaces like you just saw. And we've created, gosh, I think we have 57 right now, different ones all through real estate and marketing, sales tools. And I'm just showing you this because it's like so easy to make for yourself and really a great tool to have. Here's an example of like a brand creator bot. So say your product is coffee cups with dogs on them, your location Denver, and your target customers are people who own Boston Terriers. It'll actually go ahead and create an entire brand building for you. So it's going to give me how I should market in my location, what my logo should look like, how I should communicate with people. So it's a pretty cool tool. It does take a minute based on how active ChatGPT is. So it gives you like a brand name, a tagline, lots of tips and tricks. Well, I want to answer your questions. So I'm just going to throw this up here. This is a list of tools we discussed today. If you want to grab that, go ahead. And this will also be sent out after. So we can go ahead and get to questions. We'll stop sharing.
All okay. Right. Wow. All right. This actually should have been about a week-long webinar, but that was just an amazing overview of some of the tools that are available. We do have some questions. The first one is, how artificial is AI? Can you truly trust it? Is it better than Google?
Oh, interesting. I would say it's different than Google. Not really something I would compare apples to apples. And I think as long as you have that browser extension and it's browsing current information, it's trustworthy. You can even ask ChatGPT to cite its sources and it will. So if you're interested in making sure your information is correct, just say cite your sources in your response.
Good. What if there's no option to turn on plugins in ChatGPT?
That means you're probably not on the ChatGPT Plus version. So definitely make sure you're on that. Like I said, I think it's $20 a month. And if you have any problems, go ahead and contact them, but it should be in there.
You used a tool to graph contacts. I know that most AI will not give you email contact information, but we have purchased lists with contact information in the past, only to find out that most emails are bad or not real. Do you know if an AI tool that would evaluate the contact list and remove any that appear to be bad or fake?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've had that same issue being in sales, and I do really like seamless.ai. Can be a little bit pricey, but they do give you a bunch of different emails for people, and it gives you a percentage of if it's correct. So I do appreciate that.
We got a couple of questions about trademark information for AI graphics or text. Can it be trademarked?
Yeah, so anything that you created mid-journey is yours, and you can go ahead and trademark that if you want. But you are free and able to use any of that imagery that you create. And that's why I really like that photorealistic plugin, because it gives you really, really realistic images, and you don't have to pay for it or pay back models or anything like that.
Well, Bobby wants you to know that you did an excellent job and to thank you for the presentation.
Thanks, Bobby.
Okay. What's the best AI tool to use for local small businesses? I think that's a loaded question, isn't it?
I mean, can I just say probably jam out AI and ChatGPT, of course.
Yes. Let's see. Robin, you're amazing. Thank you so much for this workshop. How can I use AI tools that you explained in my travel business?
Monica, reach out to me. I can definitely help you. I would need a little bit more information to help you exactly. So happy to connect with any of you.
Well, that's our Q&A questions. I'm looking in the chat. Do we have to disclose that we used AI to write for us?
You don't. Nope.
Nope. Okay. It's harder to look in the chat. So guys, if you have a question, the Q&A is really the best place. So the brand feature that you just showed was a branding prompt in ChatGPT. Well, I think we missed that.
No. Branding was.
So the branding feature you just showed was a branding prompt. No, I think you were using Zapier at that time.
Yeah, maybe Zapier or the AI library, maybe.
How can I reach out to Robin?
You can contact me at jam@myjams.ai. And I guess I should say my real name is Robin, and all my friends and family call me Jam. So that's been my nickname, and you can call me either.
Doesn't AI steal all your research? For example, who owns the product you produce?
The product. What do you mean? Like if you use AI to create your website, you own your website. If you copy and pasted all of the content straight from AI, like you're not supposed to, then yes, they do have all that content in their system as well. That's why you're supposed to change it up. And also Google knows if you're copying and pasting ChatGPT stuff straight into your content as well. So another reason to take that 20% of your own time and make it yours.
Do you believe that this is true, that you should be careful if you're uploading your information onto AI, because now it becomes public information?
Yeah, so if you're using ChatGPT, you don't want to put any personal information into it that could cause any sort of security breach. It's okay to put your name, your LinkedIn in there. I wouldn't personally, like I said, I was helping my dad with some of his medical stuff, and I took his name out of everything. The content is used for open source developers to play with the content to help train ChatGPT. So that's what it's used for. It's not like they're taking your content and selling it. It's just being used for training.
May I get a list of the AI tools? Of you had the QR code, but he wasn't fast enough.
Yes. I can
and you will be getting a copy of the slides and the video. It's probably going to be in your mailbox in the morning, if not before. So you can look forward to that. Isn't this what Hollywood writers are striking over?
Yes, it's true. And again, like, I think Hollywood writers are going to start using AI to help brainstorm their ideas, but nobody's ever going to write as well as SNL comedians, you know, and their writers. You can tell when they're there and when they're not there. So
right.
Be a human. Use AI to be more human.
And faster, just faster. I'm using it more and more with my clients, just to say, create a calendar of Facebook posts for my whatever business for the next 4 weeks. And it's just amazing what it will come up with. It really stimulates your imagination. It doesn't replace your imagination.
Definitely, definitely.
I haven't looked into the details, but anything of note in Biden's recent signing, something related to AI development?
Oh yeah, you know what? Somebody sent me that article and I hadn't read it yet. I will. I will. I've been prepping for this.
All right. I think, again, does anyone read terms of service? Okay. I think that's a rhetorical question. Can you please share our contact details? I've missed it. Well, it's right above you, Monica. jam@myjams.ai. Okay. I think we have covered the questions. Again, I'm now trying to look over in the chat. His signing just put the AI companies to develop standards and call out safety issues. Okay, I guess Michael is just answering the question about Biden.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, so I am just going to share my screen for 1 minute. If you think that a mentor is something that you would like to have for your business, please visit score.org/Minnesota. There's a big old request a mentor button. It couldn't be easier. We talked about Canva 2 weeks ago. We had the most incredible 2-hour webinar on the use of Canva. Go to score.org/Minnesota and do a search for Canva, and you'll be able to get the link to that webinar. It was wonderful. Okay, I just want to thank you all for coming, and well, more importantly, thank Jam for being here. You were amazing, and I can't imagine this there being an improvement on that, but you will all get a survey about the webinar, what you thought about it, what we can improve, and most importantly, what other topics are you interested in? I know AI is a hot one, but there are other topics that your business might need. So please, please fill in that survey and let us know what you thought. Oh, seriously, one more question. Seriously, if you write a book with AI, who owns it?
You do. You do. But definitely don't just copy and paste it.
Man, do not just copy and paste it. Exactly. No. Make it your own. Yeah. I mean, you know, if you're capable of writing, that would be important, an important thing. Well, yeah. Perhaps we'll have you back at some point. I think that there's probably more that you could talk about.
Oh my gosh, I had a hard time trimming this down, so I would love to come back, and thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to connecting with any of you who reach out.
Wonderful. And of course, if you came back in 6 months, you'd be talking about different products, probably.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Yes, wonderful. Well, goodbye, everyone. Have a great day. Goodbye, Jam. Thank you so much.
You're
And thank
welcome.
you all for coming.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.